So looking at this area of the book, these look quite different than what we've had for pieces before. This is written in what's called a lead sheet style, or you might be more familiar with the term fake book style. So lead sheet or fake book, or it's sometimes it's called tablature reading, is when the publisher has given you the right hand and no left hand. The left hand is not written out. They're saving space, they're saving paper. They're also making their music available or easier to read for multiple instruments, not just a pianist, by doing it in this way. So you may have noticed if you ever were at a music store or looking at things online, things called fake book style might be something like the top 1,000 hits of the 1990s. And you're looking at a book this thick going, how are they getting 1,000 songs in there? How they're getting 1,000 songs in there is that there's only half of the amount written that we normally see. The melody is there, that right hand part is there. The left hand part is not. The left hand part is being written in chord symbols or tablature for you to read. This way they can get more songs in a book. They can make it more marketable because pianists can read out of it, guitar players can read it, ukulele, auto harp, even other instruments can take it and transpose it, or they know the basic chord structure. So that's why I think it's important that we cover this type of reading in case you come across a piece that you want to learn that's in this style of reading. So fake book style, lead sheet, whatever you want to call it here on page 109, 110, 111, your book is giving you room to write out that left hand, which you certainly are welcome to do. If you were purchasing a piece to play that was in this style, there would not be a place for you to write the left hand out. So if we were all together in the classroom as normal, I would say no writing it out, start to do it in your head, see if you can do it in your head. Those of you working without a keyboard, of course, are going to have to write it in. That's how we'll be doing this assignment. Those of you playing, I guess it's your choice. So I want to help you get started on how to make these work, or how to learn and play these styles of fake book or lead sheet. So let's take a look at page 109. I'm going to flip my camera here. Here we go. So we're taking a look at this first example here on page 109. So you can notice that you'll be given a right hand part. The first thing you want to do is figure out what key it's in based on the key signature. And you can see no flats or sharps here, so I'm in the key of C. So I would then probably take my right hand, build that C position, tonic, whole, whole, half, whole. Make sure that you're on the correct C for what is written. This is middle C. You need to be in the correct register. I then would take the time to learn that right hand. For some of you, that might be reading through it C, skip, skip, step, step. Maybe it's reading letter names. But get to the point where you can play this melody all the way through with just your right hand. Then it comes time to add that left hand. So the left hand is reading right here this chord symbol. So it's saying a C chord. If you prefer thinking Roman numerals like we talked about in the last video, C is the first note in that hand position, so that'd be what we were calling a 1 chord. So in this measure, I'm going to play a C chord or a 1 chord. I'm going to restrike it, play it again in measure 2. In measure 3, they're asking me to change. G7/B, I've got a lot of letter names here. All I need to look at is that first letter, the G. They're telling me a G chord. G in the key of C is the 5th note, so it's a 5 chord. The 7 is telling me to put that extra 7 or that jazz tone in there. We're automatically doing that. The /B is telling me to put it in an inversion, and we're automatically doing that. So I'm going to change to that 5 chord, and then the next measure I'm going back to my 1. So my left hand, 1, 1, going to that 5/7. Remember, I'm going from my thumb. Thumb stays, 2 plays, 5th finger down, half a step. There's my G7 chord. The next measure is taking me back to a 1. Next line, 1 or C chord, 1 or C chord, 5/7, 1. So once once I have both of those working together, then I would play my melody with that chord above it, lining that right up as so. Let me play this one for you. Moving on, when you are looking at page 110, number 2, your key signature is 1 flat, so that's telling you the key of F. So wherever I see F, I would be playing a 1 chord or an F chord. Where I see C7/E, I'm changing to that 5/7 chord or that C7 chord, whatever you want to call it. For your third one, you can see you've got 3 sharps. I've put this over on my whiteboard. So let's practice writing it out, especially for those of you that are doing this as a written assignment. So I'm in the key of A. I know that my 1 chord then is going to have A as the root. Because your left hand is not written out, you can put it in any register that you want. So I could put my 1 chord down here, A, C sharp, E, or I could play it higher up if I wanted to. That's my middle C there. Your choice with register. So in the first measure, on that first beat with the right hand note, I would play my 1 chord or my A chord. On the second half of that measure, right here, I can see they're asking for my 5 chord. So again, think of it just how we did when we were playing it. Go from the top. Thumb stays. The middle note would be where your finger 2 is. And your 5th finger goes down half a step, which remember, half a step would take you to a black key there. So especially if you're writing these out, I encourage you to find a picture of a keyboard, perhaps on your phone, or a paper one you can print out so that you can really look at what the bottom of your 1 chord is and think about if half step down is going to need an accidental. So as you work through page 110, you're going to play that 1 chord right with the melody on the A. My 5/7 chord strikes with the D. 1, 5/7, 1. On page 111, I encourage you to look at the top example in the key of D. Notice you have just a 1 chord, a D chord that's going to hold for that whole first line, and then you have some 5/7 chords. If you want to try example 5, certainly go ahead and try it. This is a more challenging one in E flat. It's not a common key that you're going to find chords in.